class. I am Mrs. Celestina Lawrence going to take you the English 4 skills LSRW. That means listening, speaking, writing and reading. First thing we are going to see about that listening skill. I am going to tell about this. Preeti Srinivasan is a former cricketer from Tamil Nadu. At the age of 17, she captained the Indian women cricket team. Preeti Srinivasan was not only a cricketer but also a swimmer. She had that in the age of 8 itself, she was captained the cricket team of Tamil Nadu in national cricket. So, I am going to tell about the story. You have to listen to that. Then I am going to ask the question. You have to give me the answer. So, Preeti Srinivasan is a former cricketer from Tamil Nadu who played domestic cricket in 1990s. At the age of 8, she was the youngest girl to play in the state cricket team. At the age of 17, she captained the Tamil Nadu women's under age group 19 cricket team in a national tournament in 1997 and registered its only victory ever. She was also a state level gold winner in 50 meters breaststroke swimming event. But the following year, she suffered a spinal cord injury in an accident in Puducherry. Her own trauma inspired her to create Soul Free Foundation that aims to help Indian youth to cope up with disabilities related to spinal cord injuries and how suitable precautions can help them out. Instead of the term differently abled, Soul Free employs the term positively abled for those suffering from a disability. She is an astute in social life and earned many honors for it. In 2018, she received the Kalpana Chawla Award for Courage and Daring Enterprise. So, children, this is an event regarding about Preeti Srinivasan. Now, here in your textbook, page number 68, there are 5 questions are given for that to give the answer whether it is true or false. So, I am going to read the questions now. Preeti Srinivasan is a former cricketer from Tamil Nadu. Now, you are going to say is a true or false. So, what did you listen? Is it a true sentence or false? Very good. It's a true one. So, you have to mention as true. Okay. Next one. At the age of 17, she captained the Indian women cricket team. She captained for only Tamil Nadu cricket team, not for the Indian cricket team. So, the sentence comes as a false one. So, your answer should be false. Okay. The third one. Preeti Srinivasan was not only a cricketer but also a runner. The thing that we have listened is she was not a runner, she is a good swimmer. She got the medal for the swimming medal. So, it is a false sentence. Okay. Next one, her foundation for those who are suffering from mental illness. That means those who are mentally sick. Is it that true? She is opened a foundation for the disabled people, those who got injury, disabled. So, the answer is false. The last one, she received the Kalpana Chawla award. So, that is a true sentence, answer is true. Okay? This is the skill for the listening. Now, we will go for the speaking skill. It is given there that when we present a story or a message or a speech, what are the skills we need for the presentation? Techniques to narrate a story. Now, there are different words for different things too. When you convey the story, we say narrate a story. When we recite a poem, that means we are not going to read the poem. We are going to recite a poem. We are going to read the lesson. So, for prose we read, for poetry we recite, for story we are going to narrate. Is it clear for you? Okay. What are the techniques to narrate a story? Remember and recall. First we should remember and recall about the story events. Second one, create story frame to remember the key events. You should create some events, you should have some keywords for that to remember step by step and to convey the story. Self-narrate the story as a rehearsal. Before we could narrate a story in front of the audience, we have to rehearse ourselves to narrate a story. Change the volume, pitch and tempo of our voice to make the narration more effective. Now, for example, if I narrate a story in this way, there was an old woman in the village, he was very sad. Is it correct? No. No one is going to listen for that. If I say that same thing, once a man lived in a village, he was very sad and he was very old. He looked very tired. So, that we should have this volume, pitch, tempo, up and down. The narration should be very interesting. Then only others will listen to us. Use facial expressions and gestures. When we dramatize a story only, they are ready to listen. They will understand clearly. They listen keenly. So, we should have some sort of facial expressions and gesture to narrate a story. Next one, include questions and answer them during the narration. Why? Narrating a story, in between we should ask some questions and give the answer for the questions, so that they will be alert to listen to us. Then retain focus and maintain concentration on what you are narrating. We should have that focus. We should keep the focus on us. The audience should focus us. What other she is going to say, the next step, next one. In that manner, they should be their concentration should be on us. They should eyes should be focused on us while we are narrating. Sustain eye contact and grab attention of the audience. See, when we speak to someone, we should have that eye contact. Then only we will know that they are listening us, or they are watching, they are speaking towards us, or they are alert. So, we should have that eye contact in a great attention of the audience to listen. So, these are the presentation skills to narrate a story. Okay, now we are going to see about the story again. Now, in your textbook page number 69, they are given the clues to narrate a story on our own. So, please take your textbook and check it, page 69. Okay, here. Now read this. Robert Bruce King, lying on the ground in a dejected mood, that means very sad mood, failed to defeat his enemies. Was thinking of giving up the attempt. Hyphen, saw a spider falling down from the ceiling. Hyphen, the ceiling far away. Hyphen, wondered how it would get there. Hyphen, the spider fell back again. Hyphen, again. It fell. Hyphen, it made 9 such attempts. How many attempts? 9 such attempts. No success. Hyphen, climbed up once more. Hyphen, at last succeeded in reaching the roof. Bruce imitated its example. That means the spider's example. He too tried once again, was successful. Is it a nice story? So, this is a 5-mark question in your question paper pattern. Hence development, or develop a hence and write as a story. While writing a story, we should remember that should be in a simple past tense, because we are going to convey the message which had happened in the past. So, shall we narrate a story in a past? The great king you can mention, the great king Robert Bruce, who was lying on the ground in a dejected mood and failed to defeat his enemies, he was thinking to give up the attempt. While lying on the ground, he saw a spider falling down from the ceiling. That ceiling was very far away. He wondered how it would get there. So, he was thinking that how that spider could have gone over there. The ceiling is very far. So, he was wondered. The spider fell back again. From the ceiling, the spider fell back. Again and again, it fell back. But it did not give up. It made 9 such attempts. The spider made 9 such attempts to climb up somewhere. And he found no success. Finally, that spider climbed up once more. At last, the spider was succeeded in reaching the roof. Bruce thought, and he imitated the spider's example. He too tried once again, and he was very successful. This is the way we should write a hints development as a paragraph or as a story. Okay children, now here in your textbook there are some pictures given to narrate a story, or you can write as a paragraph. You go through the pictures, or you find any other picture like this in your composition notebook, you can write as some story or some paragraph like this. Okay. Now, it's a one more thing for a reading skill. Read the data and answer. Here there are some percentages are given. Percentage of women at work. Actually, this is for regarding empowered women. This pie chart is regarding about empowered women. So, the percentage are the same color I have mentioned here in boxes. It is not clear in your textbook. So, it is better to follow up right now. Please take your book and follow it. Okay. Page number 70. Your textbook, page number 70 children. Now, you can follow this pie chart, page number 70. It is given here 46% for homemaker. Out of 100%, 46% of women are homemaker. That means housewife. Next one, 8% is given here inside, logistics. Third percentage, information technology. 11% administration and human resource. Again 11% for finance. Then earth moving workshop, that is only 2%. environmental 3%, medicine 13%, technical field here down you can see inside 3%. So these are the percentages of a women in this pie chart regarding the empowered women. Now the question is here under your pie chart in your textbook. What is the data about? This is regarding what? So as I told you, what is the title? Empowered women. The answer is empowered women. Please stick it in your textbook. Next one, identify the 3 jobs where the same percentage of women work. What are the 3 fields? So 13, 3, 2, 11, 11, 3, 8, 3. So there are 3 times 3 are there. What are they? Go for this. Technical field, then black. Information technology, another 3 blue. Environmental. So all these 3 fields women are working in the same percentage. Third one, in which field of work in women environment involvement the second highest? The first highest is 46%. What is the second highest? 13. What is the field? 13, green, dark green, medicine. What is the percentage? 13. So the second large highest women involvement in the field is medicine. Okay. Fourth one, percentage of women working in finance in the same as the dash. Finance is 11. What is the same other field? Sir, the next percentage is administration and human resource. These are the 2 fields in which women work in a same percentage. Next one, last. What is the difference between percentage of women working in the logistic and medicine? Difference between the logistic is 8%, then medicine is 13%. So you have to minus it from 3. 13 minus 8, answer is 5. So the medicine is 13%, the logistic is purple 8%, minus 8. So difference between the 2 fields is the answer is number 5. Okay children, next we will go for the writing skill. Okay children, now we are going to see the last skill, writing. When we write a slogan, before that we should know what is slogan. A slogan is a short phrase. The phrase means a group of words which contain some meaning, right? That is easy and catchy to remember. If you say or you write a slogan, that slogan should be easy, catchy to remember. That's it. Now, they are given some slogans and the meaning. Okay? One for all and one for all for one. That means unity. The slogan is unity. The meaning is one for all and all for one. Junk food. Limit your fast food, otherwise it would be your last food. So if you are not going to limit your fast food, you will be the last food for that. That means junk food. Restricting a woman, restricting the growth of the family. If you are restricting a woman, if you are controlling a woman, you are controlling the family which will not grow. That means women empowerment. Clean and green makes perfect scene. So one more slogan here, clean and green makes perfect scene. That means cleanliness. It takes a lot of blue to stay green. That means save water. So instead of giving this meaning, you are going to put write in a slogan which will give the exact meaning in a simple word. So in the same writing in your textbook, letter writing is also given. When we go for this letter writing, you should have a letter is a means of communication, that we know. So there are 2 types of letter. One is formal letter, next one is informal letter. That means formal means official, informal letter means personal letter. So what are the steps we should follow? The steps are, we should have the date and the sender's address. On top we should write that. Next one, receiver's address. That is for I am saying about this formal letter. Then salutation, you are going to wish that respected ma'am, respected sir, hi sir, good morning, in that way. Subject of the letter. After salutation, you should write the subject for what regarding you are going to write the letter. Next, you are explaining the letter, that is body of the letter. Last one is enclosures, yours sincerely, then writing your name in a signature. In that manner, we are going to see about a formal letter for the example. So, for this formal letter, it's given here date, tomorrow's date, from Raja, standard 10A, Chennai High School, R.A. Nagar, Chennai 25. To the headmaster, Chennai High School, R.A. Nagar, Chennai 25. Respected sir. Date, sender's address, receiver address, salutation. Then the subject. Subject is complaint about the theft of bicycle regarding. This regarding should be mentioned for all the letters in the subject. You can even write requested regarding. That will be more mannerable manner. So after writing the subject, we are going to see about the body of the letter. I parked my bicycle in our school vehicle shed and went to the class. When I came out during the lunch break, I found that my bicycle was missing. Though I searched everywhere, I could not find it. Hence, I kindly request you, sir, to look into this matter and help me to get my bicycle back. Thanking you. Now the last one, since I didn't have the space here, finally you have to write yours sincerely. The next step, in the corner, yours sincerely. Your name should be signed up here. Okay children, is it easy for you? There are so many examples in your textbook. Next page, page number 7071. You can follow this example. You can write so many as you can as a formal letters. Okay children, I hope you all enjoyed in this LSRW skills and learnt lot in this classroom. Thank you.